fucking
I'm
left me
so
hanging.
sorry. That's twice in a row. I feel really bad. You keep saying, "Are you ready?" And I say yes, and then I get distracted.
Wow. And I'm over here sounding like motherfucking Mrs. Doubtfire while you stare at me like, what are you doing?
Well,
what you're doing is weird.
You start saying hello, and then I'm like, should I come in late or just wait until after? I don't know. And then I panic.
Together. Always together. You know what? Fuck it. This is sort of the story. And I'm Janey.
And I'm Max.
Oh, are you? And you're here now?
And I'm easily distracted and a bad friend.
This is the podcast where we tell each other fairy tales and folk tales and mythology and folklore and urban legends and sometimes just random shit and stuff that we already know, but you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also you're here.
Welcome. You lucky son of a bitch.
What's new this week, Janey?
Well, once again, I'm sick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never not. I was just telling Max, I'm starting to feel like I'm going crazy. Like, this is my Joker arc. It's just, I'm never not sick anymore, and I feel like a crazy person. You see that curtain moving, yes? It's not my...
No, it's a ghost.
No! It's not my feverish brain.
Fig is stuck inside the curtain.
Yeah, okay. She's so dumb.
She's so dumb.
You think that she's not as dumb as she is, I think, but she's the dummest thing in this house.
If this is the first episode you're listening to, this is a cat, not like a human or a baby.
Not a baby. Though.
She's my baby.
Yeah.
I think that you had done it when we recorded last week's episode, but we have a new website that Janey made, and it's super sexy.
It is sexy. It's www.sortofthestory.com. .com. It's for the boys.
For the boys.
And also it's for the girl. It's, and our non-binary pals. It's for everyone. Go check it out. Oh, something new that happened. Guys, I am going to post one of my favorite things that any of my students have ever drawn, and I had to unfortunately talk to him about it and tell him he could never do that again. But we're drawing spider webs in my first grade class, and this one kid who I just love to death, he's like just so full of energy and he's all over the place, and he drew his little fucked up spider web, and I was like, it's okay if your spider web looks a little wonky. That just means your spider was dancing when he was making his web, so because they always cry when it's not perfect, so we made a big deal about how, like, you can't cry about your spider's web because your spider drank 16 cups of coffee and then came to work and then made a really big thing, or your spider ate all its Halloween candy and then made a real fast web, and that's okay. And your spider's proud of it, so you should be proud. And so, like, we made this whole thing about how it's okay, it's not perfect. And then I hear him going, F-U-C-K, that spells fuck. I was like, oh my God, what? So I pull him out and I was like, hey, where'd you hear that? And so I had to give him the whole thing about why we don't say that word in school and blah, blah, blah. And where'd you hear it from? My dad. Should I call your dad and give him this speech? Please don't. I was like, all right, well then I won't have to if you don't do it again. And then I look at his work later and it's just his fucked up little spider web. And then he wrote in permanent marker next to it, fuck.
I desperately want it as a tattoo because it looks like a spider web that someone like...
It looks like art. It's art. It's pure art.
Yeah, it just looks like a spider web that like someone walked through, so it's like wonky on one side, and then there's like a spider off to the side, I think, and then over it in like fucked up letters it just says fuck.
It's so good. I'm gonna post it.
I want a face tattoo of that.
It is art. It is art.
It is.
And this is my problem with being a teacher, is I desperately want to send that to his dad and to be like, hey,
your kid's a comic genius.
Your kid is hilarious, and I feel like you'd appreciate this. Get this tattooed on your body, please. Please get this tattooed. I had to scribble out the word fuck, and I was genuinely so upset that I had to get rid of it. But also, I don't think as a teacher I'm allowed to call him up and be like, this is so funny. Tell your kid not to say this in school anymore, but also this is so funny.
You're gonna love this.
Your kid is hilarious.
Your kid got an F and not in the way you think.
I'm passing your kid through. I'm gonna somehow get him to 5th grade. Okay, anyway, that's the news. I'm gonna stop talking about my kids, but they're very funny.
Well, Miss Janey, I believe you are starting us off with a story today.
I haven't talked enough yet, so yes, that's good. I'm really excited about my story.
I'm excited about your story. Yeah, do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, well, Max.
Yes, Janey.
I got a book. I got it from Thrift Books.
Mm-hmm.
P.S. Alrighty. We have a bookshop.org affiliate account, which is wonderful. You support local bookstores. You can pick your favorite local bookstore, or you can just get one randomly. it's wonderful. You help the economy. You're not putting money straight back into Amazon if you don't have to. However, so I linked that in case you want to buy from local bookstores and stuff like that. I got this one from Thrift Books. On bookshop.org, it's $14. On Thrift Books, it's $6. J.J. Renault is no longer alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've talked about this before, about like thinking ethically about how you spend your money, where living authors get money when you buy it firsthand from a local bookstore or even from like Barnes & Noble, whereas people who have passed away, they don't see the dividends, so buying it secondhand is...
It's fine.
Fine.
And also buying it secondhand is still ethical.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also spend what you can afford. And I can afford $6 and I really can't even afford that. But I did it. Yes. I was excited about this.
So we've talked a little bit about before, especially with how many books we've bought for this podcast. I like to think a little bit about where the money's going. And again, if you can support local bookstores, that's amazing. If you can support living authors, that's amazing. Yeah. If you can't, that's okay. Just do what you can.
Do what you can. And also buy them from Amazon if you want to buy them from Amazon. But also, I got this from Thrift Books, and I'm so incredibly happy with it. So shout out to Thrift Books. But the book is Cajun Folktales by J.J. Renault. And it specifically says, an acclaimed storyteller celebrates her Cajun culture, animal stories, fairy tales, ghost lore, and humor, 27 stories in all.
I love this cover.
It's great.
A dancing lady and a little boy fishing and an alligator and a ghost and a guy playing the fiddle.
Cajun. It's all of them. And I'm going to talk a lot about J.J. I fell in love with J.J. Renault in a way that I haven't in a very long time with any of our authors. Like, the only other person I could think of is Chenga, Virag Zalka, our hero, our lady of storytelling. But I just to give you a little bit of a description of this book, which I guess I'll give it to you now. She's Cajun, right? She grew up in like southern Louisiana, and she has Cajun, obviously, family and friends and neighbors. And so she went around and she's been collecting these stories, like even unofficially, for her entire life. Like her grandmother used to tell her these stories. So she's telling in this book stories she's heard from her family. She then went over to the lady sitting on their front porch drinking their like cafe au lait, and she was like, hey, got any stories? And they were like, oh my god, yeah. And then they just sat on the porch, and then she told their stories. And she changes very little about them if she can help it. And she also, before every single story, gives like a one paragraph, like, this is where I got it. This is where we were at. This is what this woman was wearing. It was pretty great.
I love it.
I love to see it. And also, it made it feel like I was sitting next to her on a porch, and in a way that felt so natural, but also I don't feel that way about everyone. Like, I don't feel like I'm sitting next to Chenga when she's writing, I feel like, wow, my hero is writing a book. J.J. Renault, there's something so familiar about how she writes where I'm like, I feel like you and I are in the same room. And then I found out she died and I cried a little. That's how into her writing I was. Like, she was talking directly to me, and I felt like she knew me and loved me. It's really weird. So I recommend this if you just need a feel-good book of stories. This is a fucking great one. Okay, so this story today is called King Peacock.
Ooh.
And it's from her grandmother. Her grandmother used to tell it to her as a little girl. She was a little girl. Her grandmother was an old woman. Once upon a time, there was a woman who was more beautiful than anyone else in the world. She had smooth skin and lovely eyes, but like the Queen in the Brothers Grimm movie starring Matt Damon and Heath Ledger,
which we watched last night.
Which we watched right last night, and so this was very topical. She was fair on the outside, but inside she was a stone cold bitch. Love to see it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Men came from all over to ask for her hand in marriage, and she turned them all away with cruel comments, or she just had fucking standards and didn't want to marry any of these men. I fucking hate these stories. I'm not gonna lie. I hate this whole beginning of this, like, story tale type. Mm-hmm. Who the fuck cares if she doesn't want to get married?
Yeah.
She doesn't get married then. Hey, men, go fuck yourselves. Marry someone else who wants to marry you.
Yep.
Anyway.
Also, if she has hundreds and hundreds of men asking for her hand,
she's gonna say no to all of them but one.
Yeah.
At least.
Even if she gets married, like, come on. Like, that's so many people that I would just wait and be like, I will reach out to one of you after I finish receiving
okay.
kind of like a job interview. I'm realizing that I wouldn't do this.
You wouldn't do this at all.
I changed my mind.
But the point is, too, is that she was pretty cruel. She laughed at them, right? And so she wasn't just, like, nicely letting them down. She was like, this is stupid. So she laughed at them for being uglier than her, for being poorer than her, for being dumber than her. Every one of them had something that she turned them away for. And then I wrote, there's nothing wrong with having standards.
There's nothing... no scrubs.
And she don't want no scrubs.
Scrubs.
A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from her. Hanging at the passenger side of his best friend trying to... Okay, anyway. Woo! So one day a handsome young man with no flaws came to see her, and he was riding in a golden carriage, and he was in love with her. Sure. And he asked for her hand in marriage. And she responded by laughing at him and saying, "You're not fit to wipe my boots. We love a confident queen."
I thought you were going to say butt.
"You're not fit to wipe my ass."
I'm a child.
Yeah. He was, and you know what? He's not. She's right. He responded with the totally rational reaction of putting a curse on her. And he told her that in 1 year, she would give birth to a daughter. Which is like, is she having sex? Like, this is wild and crazy. He says, in 1 year, you're going to have a daughter, and she's going to be more beautiful than you. And then everybody's going to laugh behind your back about what a fucking idiot you are. And then you're going to get laughed at. And you're going to be like, oh, I wish I'd been nice to that totally handsome guy who was super cool and would have treated you so well, you bitch.
And he has a really cool car.
Yeah. And he's got a golden fucking carriage. And that's not cheap. You know what? He can do better than you. And you know what? You're kind of fat now that I think about it. And then he cried a little, and then he walked away going, oh, I'm so mad. And then he shot a school up. Anyway, so...
Shit.
Ooh. I'm all hopped up on DayQuil. So, the beautiful lady laughed at him again, which I'm sure he didn't care at all about. And then she sent him on his way. She's like, sure. Good job cursing me. Now get the fuck out of my house. But after a couple of months, it became clear that she was pregnant. And she's like super pissed about this. And I don't blame her.
No.
Because again, is she having sex? The story never says. So just she has like immaculate conception. She's like, fucking shit.
She's got a curse baby.
Also, unwanted pregnancy shouldn't be life sentences. But that's a tale for an off topic, which I already did. Go watch it. She swears that if she gives birth to a baby girl, she would just lock it away. She's like, I don't want anything to do with a girl. And then she finally gives birth, and it's a son. I'm just kidding. It's a girl.
Oh, man.
Beautiful baby girl. Great. And she's so disgusted that she didn't even give her daughter a name. She just passed it off to a nurse named Nurse, which is convenient.
This woman is not good with names.
No. And she fell in love with this baby. And it says, quote, but the bebe, which she has a lot of like Cajun French words throughout, and I'm going to say them badly. And I can't read bebe without hearing Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek. She fell in love with the bebe. But the bebe.
She had a little baby.
Little bebe.
Oh, sweet baby.
Oh, give me the baby. Okay, sorry.
Sarah, the baby.
Oh, I apologize to everyone who's listening to this and is like, I am Cajun. You're doing a bad job. Okay, but the bebe was such a dear, so cher, that the child's nurse called the little girl
Cher?
Cherie.
Oh.
Cher.
Like, and this is the story of Cher.
Hey! She had long hair and she never aged. Honestly, this might be the story of Cher. The mom really didn't pay that much attention to Cherie, but each year the girl grew more and more beautiful. And one day, it was undeniable, the girl had already surpassed her mother's beauty. And so the woman ordered Nurse to lock Cherie away in a room, never to be let out again. She wasn't even allowed to look out the window, which I guess there was a window, and that seems even more cruel than putting her in a windowless room. The little girl grows into a young woman in that room, and only Nurse is around for her company. She never sees a single other soul, and so she's really lonely, and Nurse feels really genuinely bad, but doesn't know what to do, because she's like also trapped in this terrible situation. And one day, Nurse was sweeping the floor, and she had left the door open, and Cherie looked outside, and she sees the most magnificent thing she had ever seen in her whole life. It was a peacock.
Ooh.
It was just like strutting around outside, and honestly, I haven't been locked in a room, but if I saw a peacock outside, I'd also be super enchanted by this.
If my fiancé Alex would hear, he would immediately start yelling about how peacocks are assholes because he used to work at a Buddhist monastery out in California, and they had peacocks that would straight up kill you. They had one guy who would take care of all the peacocks, and they have huge talons. They're
they're birds of prey.
Yeah, they're like roosters that have those like shockingly sharp and terrifying talons. Mm-hmm. And one of the peacocks like fell in love with this man. and then got really mad at him and slashed him across the throat and almost killed him. But he was fine.
Oh my god,
he had a huge
quarrel.
Yeah, he had a huge scar and was like, "Did you get mugged?" And he was like, "No, it was a bird."
No, that peacock got mad at me. Saw me cheating on him. So Cherie asks the nurse, like, "What the fuck am I looking at?" Wow. And the nurse is like, "Oh, that's a peacock. He's king of the birds." Is he the king of the birds? I hadn't known that, nurse. Cherie then bummed her nurse out by responding, "If I ever leave this room and marry, I hope my husband will be as handsome as King Peacock." And nurse is like, "Oh no, that's sad." And she says, "May le bon Dieu hear your prayers." And le bon Dieu is a terrible pronunciation on my part, but it's the good Lord. Meanwhile, I wrote that. Meanwhile. The girl's beautiful mother was becoming increasingly upset over her daughter's beauty. She had nightmares about people laughing at her for having a pretty daughter, and finally one day she looks herself in the mirror and she says, "When she's dead, no one will be prettier than me."
Oh, no.
Yeah, go to therapy.
Oh, no.
And her reflection was like, "What? Oh, no. We've gone too far.
Can I call someone for you, or...?"
You seem to be going through it. How about some nice tea? She calls the nurse into a room, and she gave her a sharp knife, and she ordered her to murder her daughter. Casual-like. And the nurse begged and pleaded for the girl's life and is like, "I can't do it." And the mother says basically like, "Hey, if you don't follow my orders, then you can follow your precious Cherie to the grave. Because she's dying one way or another, and if you don't do it, you're dying too." And so, nurse goes to the girl, and she confesses everything that was said. And she cries and cries, telling her she doesn't have the heart to do it, and that maybe they'll just have to die together. And this little girl is like, oh, no.
I don't want
You're putting an awful lot on me, and I'm just not emotionally prepared to carry this burden for you.
I'm gonna say the queen?
Yeah.
No longer girl bossing.
You are also calling her a queen. She's not. She's just a woman. Like a pretty, rich woman.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I have to keep myself from calling her the queen.
Okay,
She's
well,
not. Yeah, the mother. No longer girl bossing. Yeah, she girl bossed too close to the sun.
Yeah, she's gone from girl boss to
gaslight and gatekeep.
Yeah. I mean,
Cherie is a basement child, and she has no other friends except for this one old nurse. And so she's like, "Please don't die. I don't think I could ever rest in peace if you're dead, because you're the only human soul I know besides my terrible mom. So like, please don't also be dead. That will." Yeah, I can't let that happen, obviously. And so then she says, "Hey, if you don't have the heart to kill me, I'll just kill myself. No big deal." And then she begs and cries and pleads for the nurse to help her kill herself. This is dark. This little teenager is just like, "Please help me kill myself."
Also, though, like, you're gonna be like, no, don't do it. You shouldn't have to be burdened with this and everything. But then is like, but also...
help me.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. I'm a basement child, and I've only ever been in this one room.
I'm sorry, can you explain the concept of death to me really quickly? Because I'm a little hazy on the details.
I didn't know what a fucking peacock was, lady. You think I know what suicide is? So the old woman eventually agrees, and she gives her 3 magic red seeds, and she tells her to swallow one and throw herself down a well. If she did that, she'd feel no pain at all, which is when I started Googling Klonopin. What? I was just thinking, like, what pill could this possibly be? It's a seed, but, like, I think it might be Klonopin. It's
Tylenol.
It's a Sudafed. So
take 3 and call me in the morning.
If you don't feel better, then maybe you should just throw yourself down a well. So Cherie kissed her nurse and then set off to drown herself. She walked to that well that was built of stones, and then she put a seed in her mouth, and then she dived in. However, when she splashed into the water, that seed fell out of her mouth, and then the whole well just dried up immediately. And then she was just sitting at the bottom, unhurt, looking up, and she was like, "Aw, man." Shucks.
Nuts.
And so she feels sad that she hadn't died, and then sighing, she uses, like, the stones that are jutting out of the side of the well to crawl her way out, ring style. And now she's back on land. So she walks and walks in her soaking wet nightgown with her long hair hanging in front of her face. And she comes to a cabin at the bank of a bayou. And she knocks on the door of the cabin, and the oldest woman anyone had ever seen, and then I wrote, or perhaps just a woman visibly older than Nurse, who's the only other woman Cherie has ever seen in her fucking life, answers the door. This woman is like 46 years old. And it says, the old woman's hair hung like moss and her hands were as gnarled as Boscoyo. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
No idea.
We'll look that up another day.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of her hair hanging like moss because they're in Louisiana and we're in Savannah. And so they're talking about Spanish moss, which is like this ghostly greenish gray color. And it's long and curly. And it's just a really pretty image. I like it.
It is. Also, it's not moss, fun fact.
It's an air plant. So she was alarmed to see the girl, who's clearly in a lot of trouble, who's standing on her doorstep with her limp fucking hair hanging in front of her beautiful fucking face.
Oh, they matchies.
Yeah. And then she says, and I'm not going to do a Cajun accent because I can't do one.
Also, because you shouldn't.
Yeah, and also because I shouldn't, but also because I couldn't. But this is a quote. She squinted at her and said, "What you want? What you doing way out here, girl? Have you lost your mind? Gone moon mad? Don't you know my old man is an ogre? If he sees you, he'll eat you up for true." I only had to put that in because I like the way J.J. Renaud writes, because she writes how people tell her the story. And Cherie told her that good. That's what she wanted. She wanted him to eat her up. Good. That's good. Yum, yum, yum. Come get a bite of poor old Cherie. And so she tells the woman all about what's happening. And the old woman tells her that her death wouldn't satisfy her maman.
Maman.
Maman? Is that what it is?
Yeah, you don't pronounce the N. It's just
maman.
Maman.
She says, quote, "One of these days, she's going to find out that her real enemy is time," which I think is a very profound thing to say. As she was comforting the girl, they hear this loud, booming footsteps, and this ugly green old ogre with big yellow teeth, he comes into the room and he growls and he says, "Oh, I smelled fresh meat, and there she is!" And then he, like, acts like he's gonna go, he's like, "Rah!" And he, like, jumps at her.
And he's like, "I'm like an onion."
I'm like an onion! Get off my swamp! I'm telling you the origin story of Shrek.
Aw, yeah. Shrek and Cher came from the same place?
Yeah. Cher doesn't want to talk about that on her Twitter. She only wants to, like, put, like, weird all-cap cries for help about how to get electronics working in her home. So
That's true.
Yep. The guys go look at Cher's Twitter. If she's still on Twitter for very long, because she might... I can't imagine she'd ever cancel her Twitter. She's getting her life force straight from there. So he's preparing to, like, pounce on her and rip her to shreds, and he's expecting her to scream and run away and, like, beg for her life. But she didn't, because Cherie is extremely depressed and has a death wish. And so he stops and he's like, "Why aren't you running away?" Right?
Is this not doing it for you? Or?
What's up? And why aren't you begging for mercy? And then he says, "Don't my ugly looks terrify you?" Everyone should go to therapy in this story.
Yeah.
Cherie tells him that she's not afraid of him and that honestly he's not that ugly. She tells him that her own mother was the most beautiful woman in the world, but her heart was full of hate and she wanted her dead, and that was, like, more terrifying to her than he was. He's just, like, in his own goddamn home. Like, he's not that scary. And she basically was like, "Hey, please eat me. Just do it. Just please end my misery." And then I said, "What in the toxoplasmosis is this?" Because it seems like, you know those mice that get toxoplasmosis and then they start loving cats and, like, running up and trying to get the cats to, like, put them in their mouths?
No, but hilarious.
Okay, so toxoplasmosis. Guys, go listen to the podcast. This podcast will kill you. Listen to their episode on toxoplasmosis. That's, you know when they say, like, cats have that bacteria in their brain, like, the thing in their brain that if you get it in you, then it, like, mind controls you and stuff like that? That's not true. They have that bacteria, and actually most stray cats do have that. They get it from, like, eating dead birds and stuff like that. But what it does is it gets into rats, and it shuts off the instinct that rats have, the chemical that they have that responds to cat smells. And so the ones that makes them run away, that toxoplasmosis shuts it off, because toxoplasmosis wants to spread. And it does that by getting into rats' brains and then getting cats to eat them, because the rats will just run into their fucking mouths. Yeah. And then the cats will get that. And it's pretty dangerous for pregnant women. People who are pregnant for the first time, who are cleaning up cat litter, they can miscarry because of that. So it's not, like, unfounded.
Pregnant women are not supposed to scoop cat litter. It's one of the things that they tell you not to do.
Yeah, don't do it. Anyway, so she's doing this. She just came to an ogre's house and was like, "What if you ate me? Here I am. I'm delicious. Yum, yum, yum."
I can wiggle a little bit if that makes me look tastier.
And so the ogre had never encountered a human who acted like this, and it really fucking bummed him out. So he tells her, quote, "What you say is true. People say I'm bad just because I am so ugly. But can I help that? Their flesh is sweet to me only because I want revenge for their unjust curses. Yet I won't eat you, girl." Damn.
I
was rooting for Cherie. It's your kindness that makes you beautiful for true. Pass the night with us. You're tired and it's late. Don't be afraid of me. I won't touch a hair on your head. I'll only watch over you. They tuck her in, and the old woman fans her with a peacock feather, and it's very cozy, and they're, like, singing songs and making sure that she's all comfy, because they feel really bad for her.
Yeah. Fair.
And then, however, before going to bed, Cherie put a red seed in her mouth, thinking that maybe she'll get lucky and die in her sleep.
Jesus. Cherie, you're gonna traumatize these poor folks.
Cherie, you are already away from your mom's house. Maybe keep fucking walking, girl. So then, she sleeps for 3 days, and the ogre and his wife could not wake her up, and she's not taking any breaths, and her heart is fluttering like a soft little butterfly wing, and after 3 days, the ogre thinks to himself that she must be dead, and he cries as he lays her in a golden coffin, which I'm like, where did that come from? Did they have that? Was that meant to be their coffin that he's giving to this girl who's not fucking dead? Or do you just have that? Are we supposed to have a golden coffin?
I have a gold. Do you not have a golden coffin?
Fuck! Okay.
Janey, you really need to start thinking about your future about your investments.
I know.
It's important to have coffin security.
Guys, can you donate to my GoFundMe to get me a golden coffin? He didn't want to bury her. He couldn't stand it. So he carried that coffin to the bayou and he pushed it into the water. And then the girl in the golden coffin began to float downstream. Would a golden coffin float?
No.
Okay, good. That's
I
what
was going to
thought.
say.
Yeah.
Because that's like panning for gold, you know?
Yeah.
It would sink to the bottom.
Okay, but hers didn't. She's so beautiful. Water logic
so
doesn't work. Ooh, you're like a golden coffin in the water. For 3 more days, the coffin floated on the water until on day 3, it passed into a faraway land. And it just so happened that a king was walking on the levee with his counselors, and he got shite.
He got shite.
And he caught sight of the shining thing. I mixed the words sight and shining together.
He's got the squirts.
And he's so curious about this shining coffin that he stops having explosive diarrhea. And he calls his counselors and he's like, well, go fish that out of the water. And I gotta look inside. He says, I think a great king must have died. And they open it, and then he sees the most beautiful girl he's ever seen, and he's like, oh, never mind, it was a great queen that died. But she seemed so alive and quote-unquote fresh. I wrote you too. That he thought there might be a way to wake her up. You know, Max, he'd read fairy tales before. He knew that these things happen.
This is why you listen to this podcast, is so that you can be prepared when something like this happens
when
to you.
When you see a dead body floating down the bayou.
You've got to start thinking about your future.
The girl, don't do that. You'll ruin important evidence. Also, you'll seem like a real weirdo to the coroner. The girl was laid on a soft bed in the palace, and then he rubbed her wrists and cheeks with rose water, which did nothing, but he seemed like a big creep.
Well, she's been in the bayou, locked up in a coffin. She's probably pretty stinky.
I would like it if you smelled better, says the king. He makes loud, sharp sounds to try to startle her awake. And that weirdly didn't do anything either.
And then he starts calling random names. He's like, Sarah, Megan,
Balthazar. Oh my god. Guys, hold on, we're pausing the story. So we found out through a trivia game that Max got her for her birthday that, I don't know if you guys remember, in a Rumpelstiltskin episode, which is still one of my favorite stories in the whole world, just in general. I love the Rumpelstiltskin story. I think I have mixed up, though, the real story with us casting Joe Manganiello. I think that might be why I like it so much. Anyway,
yeah,
time will tell. So she got a trivia game, and they asked for the names of the 3 wise men, and they said one was Balthazar, one was Melchior, and I was like, oh my god, and the other one's Casper. And they were like, yeah, what? And it's because those are the 3 names that the girl gives to Rumpelstiltskin when she's guessing. And we made fun of it, being like, Balthazar? That's your first guess? Melchior? What's that? And then you made a milk your cow joke. And then Casper the Friendly Ghost. And we made fun of him. But that's from the 3 wise men. Apparently they had names.
From the Christian nativity myth. Yeah.
I didn't know they had names.
I didn't either.
All right.
I would have assumed that their names were Larry, Curly, and Moe.
Honestly. Yeah, right? And then you guessed that and you were wrong.
I was wrong.
Yeah. Or were you? The world's just not ready to hear that. Okay, so Weirdly enough, rubbing her down with oil and yelling at her a bunch didn't work. And he was like, well, I guess you must really be dead. And I'm like, that's it? That's the only thing you tried? Okay. And I was like, no more ideas, just vibes. She seems dead to me.
Maybe she just needs a nice bath and some self-care.
Yeah, maybe he just needs to, like, see her naked. Max, come on. So since she was well and truly dead in his mind, he thought to himself that he would have to bury her. But not before giving her a big old smooch.
Oh, man.
Yep. So he leans in to kiss her on her cold, dead mouth, but when his mustache tickled her nose, she smiled.
Oh, was she faking?
She's really good at faking. It's that scene in The Brothers Grimm where Heath Ledger goes to kiss Matt Damon and he goes, not you. So he notices that something small and red was caught between her pearly teeth, which means she grinned. She didn't just smile, she gave him a full toothy grin. And so he takes a golden pin and he removes a little red seed, which I had been imagining a bigger seed, but apparently it's caught between her gap tooth. And then, as soon as she takes it out, she stretches and she yawns and she opens her beautiful eyes, and then she sees that there's like a man sitting next to her. She's like, oh, hi. And then she tells him that she must have been dreaming because in her dreams, she had seen a king just like him, quote, shimmering like a peacock. And he said, well, that's amazing because I am King Peacock. I'm like, sure.
That's such a crazy coincidence.
That's my name. He also said, what if this was we're going through the family tree of Miss Peacock from Clue?
That's the case.
That's the case. That's what happened, canon. Indeed. And so he also said a line that I think was taken straight from the Pickup Artist Handbook. He said, quote, I dreamed of a queen like you too, a woman who will be dearer to me than my own life. And she says, well, then you have dreamed true. My name is Cherie. And he's like, great, let's get married. I like that she's the only person that has a name in this story. It's very feminist.
Well, his name's King Peacock.
Oh, I forgot immediately.
And the nurse's name is Nurse.
I forgot that. It did pass the Bechdel test. Two main characters talking about how she's trapped all the time and how the other one has to kill the other one. Feminist icon. Cajun fairy tales. So they go back to her house after they get married to pick up Nurse and free her from this hell that she's stuck in. And they get the happy news that when they arrive, that Cherie's mother had, quote, shriveled up with meanness and died from regret when she discovered that time always defeats beauty.
Like a rude old raisin.
Yeah, shriveled up like a raisin? How long was Cherie gone? Nurse is still alive.
Her mom was like, well, I mean, I am looking a little bit, maybe I should just go get a tan, and then laid out in the sun and passed out and died up, like the raisin in the Sunmaid commercial.
Oh, yeah, that's it. The old nurse was so happy to see her alive, they brought her back to the palace where she lived out her days in peace. And then the king and the queen, the peacocks.
Is she Queen Peacock or is she Queen Peahen?
Oh, Queen Peacock. It's the last name, Max. Come on.
Okay. Just checking.
Come on, Max.
All right. You're right. That was
Cherie Peacock. They lived for another 100 years. And then the last quote, time took their beauty, but their hearts stayed young. Beauty comes, beauty goes, but true love never grows old.
Aww.
The end.
That's so nice.
It is. I have to tell you everything I learned about JJ Renaud. Ugh. So according to the blog, I started with the blog Mama of Letters, and she wrote a blog post that was like, remembering my friend and storyteller, JJ Renaud. So they were really good friends. And she said that JJ, amongst other nice things, she said JJ was a regular guest at the National Storytelling Festival in Jonesboro, Tennessee, which... Do you think in the future we're going to be going to storytelling festivals? Because I would like that.
I would also like that. Dr. Jenga Virag-Salka just came back from a storytelling convention in Ireland, and she was like, she got a bunch of books that were in like the Scots dialect.
I want to go so bad. I just want I want our podcast to get big so that we can go to storytelling festivals around the world. That's what I want. That's what I want in 2 years. I think that's our goal. Soon. I think it feels forever away. Time is moving so slowly, it's basically not moving at all.
But also so quickly.
Oh my god, it's basically not even real.
I still keep thinking it's 2021.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not good. No. I don't feel good about it.
She also toured the U.S., Canada, the Caribbean, and all over Europe with her stories. And JJ Renaud was a folk musician and a comedian as well. Aww. And a lot of her songs that she wrote herself told stories that were inspired from her Cajun background.
That's so cool.
So this book, Cajun Folktales, won the Anna Izzard Storyteller's Choice Award. In the introduction, she talks about the history of the Cajun people, which I didn't know. She says that the Acadians, now known better as the Cajuns, were forced to migrate from French Canada with only their barest possessions in the 1760s. They left behind loved ones and their homes, and then they had to eventually adapt to this super harsh subtropical climate in Louisiana, and there's like mosquitoes and alligators and things they've never encountered, and it's hot, and there's like all this Spanish moss, and then of course in the 1760s lots of yellow fever and shit. They were just thrown into this like land that tried to kill them at every fucking turn. And they thrived, and she compared them to, quote, the tree that bends with the wind that would break it. And they kept the old ways that were useful and abandoned the ones that weren't in favor of new ways of working and living. They borrowed from the African, Native American, Spanish, and Anglo, mostly Irish, people that populated colonial Louisianas. And their stories that they carried with them were adapted as well. And so the stories that they brought with them of like kings and princesses, the kings now lived on bayous, and princesses ate gumbo. And then, this is going to make you excited, the trickster Lapan and his dull-witted companion Buki wrestled over human-like problems now that made the Cajuns laugh even through their hard lives. So like we have some like mixes of like Haitian, like your Haitian lore that you brought in.
Yeah, Buki and Malice is the story that I told. Yeah.
And so that comes into here too. And just hearing the history of the people described this way in her introduction, it made the whole book like more personal and relatable to me, because now I'm reading them and I'm like, yeah, these are all stories that I recognize, but they have extremely Cajun like features that are undeniable, which is amazing. And then she died on February 29th, 2000 from cancer, which is very sad, and she's remembered extremely fondly. She died on a leap day, which is kind of awesome. What a cool day to die on. And just so you know, she is also a folk musician, so I looked her up on YouTube, and oh boy, do I love her fun music. It's like bluesy country Louisiana. It's a lot of like mixed French and English. Ooh. And I linked one of her YouTube videos so that you guys can listen to her music and jam out. I was walking around my room listening to it while my story printed and having a great time.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so that's JJ Renaud.
I love it.
Yeah. And I highly recommend this story, and any one of her stories. I'm going to buy them all eventually.
I love it. That was so good.
Thank you. Awesome. Do you want to take a break?
Yes.
I have to go blow my nose a million more times.
Okay.
Woo!
All right, Janey.
All right, Max.
So it would appear that we have ourselves another fucking themed episode.
Woo!
Let's fucking do it. The story that I have for you today is called Golden Feather.
Okay.
It's the bird episode.
Birds!
Fucking birds, dog.
Birds!
This story comes from The Pomegranates and Other Modern Italian Fairy Tales, edited, translated, and with an introduction by Christina Mazzoni. This is part of the Oddly Modern Fairy Tales series that's edited by Jack Zipes, who is another of our folklore heroes.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Jack Zipes.
We... Stanley. It's a really great book. She collects a bunch of different Italian fairy tales from different authors, primarily from like the 1800s-ish, and she translated them all herself, and her translations are very cool and very beautiful. And some of them, I read a couple trying to find a story for today, and some of them are very, very similar to stories that we've heard before, mostly like the European stories and stuff like that. There was one that was very similar to one of the Haitian stories, but also makes sense because Italy, France, Haiti. But yeah, I was really excited about this story because I hadn't heard anything quite like it before, which is very cool because we've read so many folk stories and fairy tales at this point that a lot of them at least have similar or familiar elements, and this had fewer than most of them, which was cool for me. Yeah. Also, this story, which I will tell you in a moment, I was researching it. I couldn't find a whole lot about it. It seems like this is one of like 2 or 3 translations of it, so it's not a very famous fairy tale, but it was made into a Soviet short film, an animated film in 1960, and I couldn't find the film online, but I was able to find a couple of screen grabs from this Soviet animated film, and it is adorable. It looks like Ferngully. Yeah, it's very, very cool. This story was originally written by Luigi Capuana in 1894 in his collection Il Raccontafiabe, which is the tale teller in Italian. The short Soviet film called the golden feather in English was zolotoi pioroshko, which just means golden feather. Sure. So, anyways, I'm going to tell you this story. Once upon a time, there was a king and a queen. How original.
What?
Believe it or not. They had a beautiful, beautiful little daughter. She had this long golden hair, and she was super bubbly and friendly. She was also kind of an asshole. She loved playing pranks. She was super rude and, like, just loud and
It's
obnoxious.
about time we have a story about a blonde girl who is rude and bad. Usually if they're blonde, it's like, and she was a perfect princess. Not like that ugly brunette over there.
Yeah, she was super obnoxious, but her parents loved her so much that they...
Aaron Carter died. Sorry, we just got a text that said Aaron Carter died. I know we're not sad because he was a sexual abuser and he's a meth head, but he was part of my childhood.
Oh my God.
That's how he beat Shaq at basketball. No.
You looked at your phone as though you were watching, like...
I know he's bad.
You looked at your phone, and it's behind the mic screen, so I couldn't see what you were looking at. In my head, I was like, oh, somehow a tarantula is on this desk, and it's consuming your pet cat Leaf, or something like that. I was like, the face of horror and shock, and just, like, the crestfall of your face... God.
I'm sorry. Alex texted that. It popped up on my phone. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Rest in peace, Aaron Carter.
No, he doesn't have to rest in peace. He was a piece of shit, but also...
Rest in discomfort, Aaron Carter.
Rest in peace, my childhood.
Oh, buddy.
Go ahead.
You're 30.
And every day, farther and farther away from that little girl I was.
All right. So her parents loved her so much that anytime she was incredibly obnoxious, they just refused to discipline her. They would say, ha ha, she's so vivacious. Ha ha, she's so vivacious.
You know, as you
Twice.
say.
Yeah. And so she just kind of everyone thought it was funny, all of her pranks, and no matter how rude she was being, nobody would ever tell her to stop. Right? Just a spoiled kid. Not necessarily, like, mean-hearted, but definitely would do horrible things for a laugh. You know.
Yeah.
One day, an old woman came to the door of the castle, and she asked to see the king, and the king was like, I'm the king, what's up? And she says...
I'm the man of the house.
She says, I have a letter for you. She hands him a letter. It is a letter from the King of Spain, and it is saying, please take this old woman in, treat her as though she was nobility, as though she were me, lodge her, feed her, take care of her. Don't ask her where she comes from, don't ask where she's going. You will not regret being kind to her.
Okay, A, this old woman is definitely Cotton Eye Joe. Doesn't want to say it. Embarrassed. Maybe you've heard of me. B, doesn't this seem suspicious? Mm-hmm. Like she maybe made a king seal. Don't ask any questions, but definitely treat her like she's your mom.
Here's a letter from the King of Spain.
Don't worry, signed the King of Spain. And then she spelled Spain wrong.
Spane.
Yeah.
And so the king reads this and he's like, oh, this is hilarious. Is this a joke? And she's like, no, this is a letter from the King of Spain. And he's like, oh, sure. Okay, totally.
That's what I
we have a place for you to stay in here. And he brings her inside and he sets her up in this teeny tiny, dusty old room in the attic. And so it's super uncomfortable. And when it comes time for food, he's like, you can eat with the servants. And so she has this food that she eats in the room with all the servants, and it's super crowded and it's gross food. It's like just like gruel. And meanwhile, he and his family are downstairs eating a luxurious, delicious feast. And in spite of the fact that she's being treated like shit, he's like, well, how was your dinner? And she's like, it was great. Thank you so much, Your Majesty. As she's eating with the servants, the princess shows up and she's like, hello, old woman. And the old woman is like, that's rude. Don't love that. And she's like, oh, your meal must be under-seasoned. Let me take care of that for you. She takes 2 salt and pepper shakers. She takes a She takes a salt shaker and a pepper shaker. And she takes the tops off and she dumps them into this old woman's soup.
Classic break.
And she says, go ahead and try it. You'll be amazed by the taste. You're welcome. And everyone laughs and laughs. They're like, ha ha, she's so vivacious. Ha ha, she's so vivacious.
Ha, she's so vivacious.
Twice. And the old woman is like, thank you very much. And she eats this nasty salt pepper soup.
It doesn't die.
Yeah. After she finishes her meal, she goes to get up and she looks around for her walking stick. She looks over in the fire and her walking stick is in the fire, half burned.
No!
And the princess doubles over laughing and she says, well, now it's nice and warm. It'll work better.
What a little asshole!
And everyone laughs and the king and queen are like, oh,
she's so vivacious.
She's so vivacious. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys have ever watched Archer, but Carol from Archer, this is just her whole personality of being raised
Do you
witch.
think that's wise?
She's so vivacious. Like, and she's already burning shit and like causing like vandalizing.
So, this old woman goes to bed in her dusty old attic room. She wakes up the next morning and she prepares to leave. Mm-hmm. As she's leaving, the princess races out and almost runs into her on the landing of the stairs. And she stops the old woman and she sings her a little song, which is, "Old woman, where do you come from and where are you going?"
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Old woman, I don't know.
Old woman, what souvenir will you leave me? So she's like, all right, well, you're leaving, so you have to give me a gift. And the old woman is like, the fuck I do. The old woman grumbles and she says, where I'm going and where I come from, the rain falls and the wind blows. With the wind you shall arrive, and with the rain you shall then leave. And then she taps the princess on the head with her half-charred walking stick. Yeah. And turns around and walks away.
Yeah. With the wind I shall arrive. With the rain I shall leave. Pollen.
No. I am going to repeat this like 3 times.
Airplane. No. Go ahead.
From that day forward, the princess begins to lose weight.
Oh.
Technically, she begins to lose mass. She doesn't get any thinner, but as she's growing over the next couple of years into a young woman, she keeps getting less and less dense, so that she is so light by the time she turns 18 that she can be picked up by the wind.
Oh,
she is as light as a feather. She is very bored because she can't leave the castle. Obviously, the king and queen have to bolt shut the window so that she doesn't float out. They don't want to take her outside because if she could just float away into the sky,
we'll give her
like
a little weighted ankle. Yeah, give her a little weighted ankle. Weights.
So she can't really do anything. She's stuck in the house. She keeps getting bored, but she finds a new favorite game, which is that she makes her mom and dad, the king and queen, blow her around the castle. So they both just stand on the floor and blow at her until she floats up to the ceiling, and then she has them like blow her around the hallways and everything like that. She says, "Blow, your majesty, more, your majesty," as they blow her around the palace. And of course they feel bad for her. You know, this poor girl has been trapped inside.
Sure.
She can't leave. She has this mysterious affliction where she is as dense as a feather. But also they get tired because it's really hard to just blow all day.
Yeah.
And, you know, their faces start like just staying red, and like their faces are sore when they go to bed, and like their mouths are like all cramped from just blowing all the time.
Sure.
The queen looks in the mirror and she realizes that her face is starting to like elongate like a donkey snout from blowing all the time.
Wow.
And she's like, this is about enough of this. And so they ask their daughter, unfortunate daughter, who cast this spell on you?
Wait, they didn't think to ask her this before?
No. And also the princess didn't think about it before. And she says, it was that old woman. She said, where I'm going and where I come from, the rain falls and the wind blows. With the wind you shall arrive, and with the rain you shall then leave. I should also mention, I put a note not to forget to do this, and then I forgot to do it. At this point, they begin calling her Golden Feather. Okay. Because of her golden hair and the fact that she weighs as much as a feather.
So she's the Golden Feather.
She's the Golden Feather. And they're like, oh, so you got a curse on you. And she's like, yep, certainly did. And they're like, well, do you want to go for a ride on the ceiling? And she's like, yep. And they just keep blowing on her. When she turns 18, she is beautiful. She is spoken of far and wide as one of the most beautiful people in the world. She has this long golden hair, perfect skin, and sparkling eyes, and a laugh that carries through the entire palace. Word of her beauty travels far and wide, and the king and queen get a letter from the king of Portugal saying, well, hi there.
Well, hi.
The prince, my son, is finally of age to marry, and I've heard that your daughter is beautiful. So how about they are going to get married?
It's beautiful, and therefore good wife material.
So the king and queen ponder over this, and they're like, well, we can't
send her.
We can't send her because if she leaves the house, she could blow away.
Give her a lead vest.
And also if she, like, even if we could get her there, like, he's going to think that we deceived him if we don't tell him that she has light as a feather and can float away at a moment's notice.
She has light as a feather disease.
But they're also like, we can't say, no, you can't get married because that will offend the King of Portugal, and then we will have to go to war with Portugal.
You know who else had this disease? Legolas. In the movie, one of my only things that I remember about the Lord of the Rings movies ever, no matter if I watch them again and again, is they're all trekking through the snow and Legolas is leading the group and he has no footsteps behind him.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a really good addition to the movies.
Mm-hmm. So they are thinking about what they can do. They're like, we can't say no, but we can't really say yes. So they say, all right, we would love for them to get married in a year.
Okay.
Hopefully give us some time to figure out what's going on and fix it. And, we'll figure something out in a year.
Sure.
And the King of Portugal sends a letter back and he's like, great, I love it. A year. We, it's great. I love it. Of course, the prince is really excited to meet his future wife. So he's on the way to come meet her.
Okay.
I'm sending him to come meet her. He's so excited. So he'll see you soon.
Great.
And they're like, well, the prince is going to get here and he's going to find out that she's as light as a feather. And then he will think that we've lied to him and he won't marry her and we'll be ruined. And what are we going to do? And the princess is thinking, and she says to herself, the old woman said, with the wind you shall come, so let me go in the wind.
Yeah.
I think if the only way out is through, it sounds like. So if you just let me go with the wind, I have a feeling in my heart that it'll be okay. And this is kind of our only option at this point. And
Smart.
her parents cry, and they're like, we're not gonna let that happen. And she's like, I feel like it'll be okay. You should just let me go in the wind. And they're like, all right, fine. Yeah. So they strap her to a stretcher and they have the whole royal entourage carry her up to the top of a very high mountain.
Oh God.
And then they all kiss and hug and cry and everything and say their goodbyes, and then they unstrap her from the stretcher and she's immediately picked up by a gust of wind and flies straight up and away. The king and queen cry. They miss her so much. They cry, and enough about them. The princess, floating high above, she floats on the wind, she dips and she sails through the air, and she crosses over all of these cities and these plains and rivers and lakes.
What if she lands in the middle of an ocean?
She is floating over all of this stuff. And then she looks down and realizes that she's over the ocean.
Oh, no.
And the wind slows down and she dips towards the ocean until she can feel the sea spray on her face.
No.
And she's kind of scrambling in the air like, oh God. And then at the last second, one of those sea breezes picks her up, takes her back up again into the air. And so she is floating through the air and the day passes. And when the sun sets, she's still over the ocean. There's nothing but water as far as the eye can see. And she begins to feel very lonely. Yeah. She's she's never been alone in her life. She's barely left her house in her life, except when she was very little. Yeah. And so she realizes how lonely she is as it's starting to get dark. And she starts to cry, and she cries for her mom.
Oh, it's so sad.
And she cries so hard that she cries herself to sleep, as though she was sleeping in her own bed, comfortable on the wind. Oh. When she wakes up in the morning, dawn is breaking, and she sees land again, at last.
I'm sure she was also cold.
Yeah, it would be freezing.
Right?
She sees land again at last. And she looks down and she sees all these little towns, and she sees peasants in the towns looking up at her and pointing. And down on the ground, the peasants are calling to each other, is that some bird of ill omen?
Oh,
because she has crazy, seawater soaked hair that's sticking out in every direction. She's got her little nightgown on that is all battered and frayed and everything. Aww. So it's just billowing around her and she's floating through the air. And they're like, is that some kind of fucked up bird?
Oh God, should we start stocking up on grain?
And so she flies over all of these little cities and towns.
This is such an Italian fairy tale. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but a woman flying through the air, a princess flying through the air like this, it's just Italian fairy tale. It just screams it.
But it gets to about midday and she realizes that she hasn't eaten in a day and a night. Yeah. And she's like, well, I don't know how long I'm going to be up here. I'm going to starve. Oh my God. And she's like, I haven't even had water in this whole time and everything. And so she sees a flock of birds flying by with worms in their beak.
And she grabs one and just starts eating it raw.
And she goes, birds, birds, please, can I have some of the food that you're carrying? I'm starving up here and I can't get down. And they say, well, this food is for our babies back in our nests, so no, you can't have any. Goodbye. And they fly away. And a big fat rain cloud floats past her and she goes, cloud, cloud, can I have some water? And that cloud says, this water is rain for the fields and I'm in a hurry. Goodbye. It scuttles off.
Rude cloud.
And so she is starting to feel a little bit dizzy from hunger. She keeps floating through the air, and on the horizon she sees a huge tall mountain, and at the top of it, an elegant castle in black and white marble.
Ooh.
And she starts feeling faint, and she's like, well, I really hope that I'm able to land over there, because otherwise I'm gonna die. And then she passes out. She wakes up on the balcony of this castle.
Oh.
And she is so hungry and so thirsty. She goes inside and she calls out and nobody's there. And so she starts wandering around the castle, and finally she gets to like a big hall, like a food hall. And she goes into the pantry. This whole castle is all like white marble and like black and gray trim and everything.
Yeah.
And she goes into the pantry and she sees all of this beautifully prepared food sitting in the pantry, and all of it is made of marble.
Oh no.
And she also notices when she gets into the enclosed pantry that her nose starts to tickle, and there's an overwhelming smell of salt and pepper.
Oh no.
And so she puts it together that the marble that this castle is built of is actually salt and pepper, and all of this food built from salt and pepper. And she sits down and cries because she's so hungry. She says, this is her palace. This is how she's punishing me for dumping the salt and pepper in the old woman's soup. And so she cries out, old lady, please give me something to eat. I'm starving. I'm starving. I'm really hungry. And she hears an old woman's voice from far, far away saying, there's so much food around.
Oh no.
Just taste it. You'll see how delicious it is.
Oh God.
And so Golden Feather kind of hesitantly picks up like a piece of bread that looks like it's made of marble.
Yeah.
And she smells it, and it smells like salt and pepper, and she sneezes, and it's gross. And then she takes a bite of it, and it tastes like bread that has been heavily salted and peppered. Yeah. And then she takes a bite of a marble apple. Tastes like an apple that has been filled with salt and pepper.
Yeah.
And so she eats the rest of the bread and the apple, and then she realizes that she's more thirsty than ever before from all of the salt. And so she calls out again, old lady, please, I'm so thirsty. Please give me something to drink. And the old woman says, oh, well, there's so many things to drink. Go ahead. You'll see how delicious it is. Just try it.
Yeah, she's about to die from sodium over this.
And so she takes a pitcher of water and she pours it into a cup. And the water is like gray and murky.
No.
And she takes a sip, and it's water, but it's full of salt and pepper.
That's going to kill her.
And over the following days, she keeps trying to eat things. She goes out to the little courtyard garden in the castle and tries to eat a leaf from a tree, and it's also made of salt and pepper. Yes. And so for the next indeterminate amount of time, she's stuck in this castle eating all this food that is laden with salt and pepper, and all the time she is sneezing and crying from, just like... She's got to be, like, swollen as hell also from all the sodium. But she, like, can't stop sneezing, and so her eyes are constantly running. And she's just stuck in this castle. And she never sees another person there. She can't figure out how to get out. She calls for the old woman, and the old woman doesn't respond anymore. She's just in salt and pepper hell.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
the
Prince of Portugal arrives at her mother and father's house. And he says, hello, I am here to meet the princess. And they say, she's not here. She blew away on the wind. And he says, ha ha ha. Okay, but like, where is she? And they're like, no, she blew away on the wind. And they tell him the whole story. Mm-hmm. And immediately he says, well, I'm going to go find her. And they're like, what do you mean you're going to go? Where are you going to go?
Aww.
And he says, I will go to the end of the world if I must.
Yeah.
And he gets on his horse and he rides and he rides and he rides for many, many days. He asks everyone he passes whether they have seen a beautiful woman floating on the wind. And for a little while, he, just goes in the direction that she went until he finally gets to places where they say, oh yeah, we thought she was a bird of ill omen. He keeps riding and riding and riding. And people are like, yeah, we also thought she was a bird of ill omen. She went that way, but then she disappeared into the clouds. And he's like, well, how am I going to track her if she disappeared into the clouds? And so he's starting to be really disheartened. He keeps riding for a little ways and he doesn't find anyone. He's about to turn around when he hears a rustling in a bush.
Oh.
It's an old man.
Oh, creepy.
And he's digging.
Sir.
And
what you digging for?
And the Prince of Portugal says, hello. Have you seen a woman floating on the wind? And the old man says, what are you doing here? And the Prince of Portugal is like, I'm looking for a woman who was on the wind.
A woman?
And
on the wind?
The old man says, I did see a woman on the wind. Very beautiful. What a catch. Great job. She was asking the birds in the clouds for food and water, and they wouldn't help her. But she went that-a-way. Those who go arrive, those who seek find. Be brave, handsome knight, he says.
The prince is like, you think I'm handsome?
Are you just saying that?
Like, are you doing anything later? Or
So the Prince of Portugal is like, thank you so much. These are wise words, and I appreciate them. And he says, who
are they wise words?
He says, old man, who are you? What's your name? And the old man says, I'm an old man.
Yeah, classic.
I'm trying to dig up this root, but I'm not strong enough. And he has this shovel, and he's trying to dig out this root from underground, but he can't pull it up, right? Because he's an old man. So the Prince of Portugal gets off of his horse, and he takes the shovel, and he's like, you sit down. I'll take care of this. And he starts digging out this root and pulling on it and digging and pulling, and he can't get this root to come out of the ground. He's like covered in sweat and dirt. He's trying to get this root out of the ground. The old man says, be brave, handsome knight, those who seek find. He's like cheering him on. He's like, you can do it.
Those who seek find.
Woo! Woo! Portugal!
Yeah, those who seek find. Stop saying that. It doesn't make any sense. The more you say it, the less I understand what you're saying. I'm not looking for anything.
And the prince keeps digging down and down and down, and he can't get deep enough to get this root out. And he's like super sweaty, and it's like kind of hot.
A little bit.
And
the man's like, you're so handsome.
And then finally, he grabs the root and he pulls on it with all of his might, and it comes free. And he hands it to the old man, and the old man says, thank you so much. I never would have expected any help, but I really appreciate it. I'm going to give you this whistle.
As handsome as you are, you're gonna need it. What?
And he says, if you need anything, blow on it, and you shall see, and don't lose it.
This is a very blow-heavy episode.
It really is. It's a very aerobic episode.
Yeah.
It's a respiratory story.
This is
respiratory.
A respiratory. You did it.
Doesn't feel like it, but thank you.
A diaphragm. No, that's nothing.
You tried.
I didn't. I don't think I
did. This old man is like, if you need anything, just whistle. You know how to whistle, don't you? Oh, wait, no, that's not it. So the Prince of Portugal is like, ooh, a whistle, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Happy to help.
Oh, a whistle.
See you later. And he gets back on his horse, and he starts...
Ooh, a whistle, thank you.
He gets back on his horse, and he starts to ride, but he keeps getting disheartened. He's like, I don't even know if this is the right way, and he's kind of absent-mindedly messing with this whistle in his pocket, and just kind of out of curiosity, not really thinking anything is going to happen, he blows on the whistle, and he says, Eagle, oh, messenger eagle, I bid you to obey me. And
That's not what the old man told him the whistle was, but he gave no instructions.
He gave no instructions. I was baffled by this. He says, I'm giving you this whistle. If you need anything, blow on it, and you shall see.
And then he just
what does
said,
that mean?
Blow on the whistle, and then command animals to start speaking English.
Eagle, oh messenger eagle, I bid you to obey me. And then an eagle swoops down out of the sky. Caw!
Yeah.
He goes, caca! And the Prince of Portugal, I abbreviated Prince of Portugal in my notes to capital P, lowercase o, capital P.
Pop.
Yeah, but every time I read it, I'm like, the Prince of Persia. Nope. No, it wasn't. The Prince of Portugal says to this eagle, hello, Eagle, as you say to an eagle.
Yeah.
I need you to fly around and bring me news of my princess. I'm gonna wait here.
Oh, he's not gonna have the eagle carry him.
No.
Well, like, you've told multiple stories of eagles picking people up and carrying them away. You told the Yiddish tale about the eagle picking them up and then just carrying them to hell. You told the other one about the eagle picking them up. Oh, the Man in the Moon story. The eagle picks them up.
Yeah.
You really love eagles.
Yeah, I really do. He's like, all right, go around, see if you can find news about the princess. I'm going to wait here for you to come back. 2 days pass, and then finally the eagle returns. And it has in its beak a letter.
Okay.
From Princess Goldenfeather.
Oh.
And the letter says, very direct, I am held prisoner in the salt and pepper palace of a fairy where no living soul may enter. Love, Goldenfeather.
Goldenfeather. And then he also, like, opens it up and just a bunch of salt and pepper shake out. He's like, ugh.
Gross. So, the Prince of Portugal remembers back to what the king and the queen, her parents, told him about what the old woman said. With the wind you shall arrive, and with the rain you shall then leave. And he's like, okay, so I want her to leave there. Yeah. Come with me. So, the rain. He blows on the whistle. And he says, clouds, clouds, I beg you to obey me. And all these clouds from all over the sky, big, fat, swollen rain clouds.
That were meant for the harvest.
Yeah. They all scoot across the sky until they're all around him. And he says, cool, clouds, come with me.
Hey, cool clouds.
What's up, you cool clouds?
Hello, all you cool clouds and eagles. Follow me.
And then he turns to the eagle and he says, Eagle, I need you to do one more job, and then you can retire. And the eagle's like, what's up? And he says, I need you to carry me.
You son of a bitch, I
It is a story. I love that this is a recurring theme in my stories. I didn't even notice.
No, you didn't. Your last story also, didn't the little man get carried on the eagle, the witch's wife?
Oh.
Or the witch's husband?
Yes, her
toadstool.
Her staff turned into an eagle.
A swan. I'm thinking of the one under the sea.
Yeah, the swan, there's a swan boat that carries them down, but she has her walking staff that turns into a horse and then turns into an eagle.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so he jumps on this eagle's back and rides it like a horse through the sky. And he says, Eagle, take us to the salt and pepper castle.
Take me and ride me to the sky.
And the eagle's like, caw! And then
classic eagle.
The clouds follow him on his eagle, and they all fly to the salt and pepper castle. The fairy in her castle sees all of these big, fat, swollen rain clouds coming towards the castle, and she's like, whoa. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Ay, ay, ay. And so she goes to a room in the castle, and she unlocks the door, and she opens it, and out comes the south wind.
Oh.
Sorry, the southwesternly wind.
Oh, okay.
The wind of the southwest.
So not quite as important
as the
Tex-Mex
wind.
Yeah.
The southwesterly wind, which she has kept trapped in this room, she lets it out and she's like, go stop those clouds. And the wind is like, okay.
I'm getting out of here.
And that's not explained. That she just has the wind locked in her room in her house.
Yeah.
That sounds like a whole other story. So the southwesterly wind goes out of the castle and it meets the clouds and the Prince of Portugal on his eagle head on, and it stops them. And no matter how hard the eagle flies and how hard the clouds try to
be clouds
ambulate towards the castle, I don't know.
Sure.
They can't, they are at a standstill.
You know, clouds can weigh like 1,000,000 pounds.
That makes sense.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it makes sense. So that's on you.
I don't understand meteorology.
So they're stuck at a standstill where they can't get any closer to the castle because of this southwesterly wind. And for hours they're stuck there. And it seems as though the wind is not only like not getting tired, but is actually getting stronger and trying to blow them back away from the castle. And the Prince of Portugal is like, wait, hang on a second. He takes out his whistle and he calls the North Wind to come and help.
Yeah.
And he goes, North Wind, take us to the castle. And the North Wind comes up and pushes behind the clouds and behind the eagle and the Prince of Portugal and pushes them towards the castle.
Yeah.
They reach the castle, and the Prince of Portugal says, "Wind, stop! Clouds, it's all you! Go for it!" And the clouds erupt, and a massive rainstorm opens up over the castle. And as it rains on the castle, these rivulets of water start to dissolve the salt and pepper that the castle is made of.
Okay, I bet the world's spiciest ocean.
And just like this gray water just sort of like starts coming down the mountain in droves and everything as the castle starts to melt.
Yeah.
It rains for 7 days and 7 nights, because of course it does.
Yeah.
Until the palace is finally completely dissolved. At some point during that time, the fairy goes to Princess Goldenfeather and says the same line again from before.
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
It's raining and it's not snow.
No, it's not.
She says, "With the wind you shall arrive, and with the rain you shall then leave." And then the fairy disappears, and the princess is left alone in this torrential rain, clinging onto a boulder so she's not swept away down the mountain in a salty, peppery deluge. At last, the castle is dissolved. The Prince of Portugal goes to get Goldenfeather, and he is like, "Well, since you weigh nothing, you can just jump on this eagle with me." And she goes to jump on it, and the eagle's like, "Ooh, my back!"
Oh, no!
And it turns out that all of the salt and pepper food that she was eating
bloated her.
Yeah, she's
you were
super
right.
bloated. She went back to her like normal, appropriate, natural weight.
Yeah.
Where she's like
weighing
an appropriate density for a human person.
What a woman of your size and stature should weigh.
So the Prince of Portugal is like, "Well, I'm glad that you're not as light as a feather anymore, but I don't know how we're gonna get home." And she's like, "What was that thing with the whistle?" And he's like, "Oh yeah."
Oh my god, this prince.
And so he releases his eagle. He's like, "Enjoy your retirement, old man." And the eagle's like, "Caw-caw!"
And then he flies up and gets shot by a hunter.
Oh no.
And as he falls, he says, "I'm too old for this shit." He's in a different story.
Yeah, he's in a different story. So he takes his whistle and he blows on it and he calls on horses.
Fly hard.
That's not even that movie, though.
Fly hard.
Are you thinking of Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon. Eagle Weapon.
So he blows on this whistle and he calls for horses, and these horses come out of the ground for some reason. These two like bridled and saddled horses come out, and
there's a mole down there like, "What the fuck? Where'd my ride go?"
I'm complaining to Uber support. At the same moment, the old man from before appears, and he's like, "Oh, you saved her, congratulations. I do need my whistle back, though."
Yeah, give me back my whistle.
And the Prince of Portugal is like, it's a really good whistle. And the old man is like, "Yeah, but it won't work for you anymore." And the prince is like, "What?" And he blows on it, and it doesn't even blow, and nothing happens. And he's like, "All right, I guess you can have it." And so he gives it back to the old man.
That was a real dick move of him to be like, "I have to test it first to make sure I can give it back to you."
Yeah, not the best. And the old man is like, "Congratulations, great work, go with God's blessing.
Yeah.
Go on, you crazy kids." And so the Prince of Portugal and Princess Goldenfeather get on their weird underground horses and ride off into the sunset.
Aww.
They finally get home to her kingdom, and they get married. They have a huge celebration and everything, and they live happily ever after. She always remembers the time that she was unkind and the consequences that she faced, so she was never unkind again. And also, she took a vow for the rest of her life to never again eat salt and pepper. Anyways, that's that story.
I really enjoyed that. That was extremely fun.
Salt and pepper!
Salt and pepper!
Yeah, I really liked the Salt and Pepper Castle. I like
all the imagery is great.
Yeah, and like I said, I posted a link to the IMDb for this Soviet short film that was based on this story. It's like a half-hour animated movie. I couldn't find the movie anywhere, but the screenshots of it are so adorable, and I will show you some once we finish recording. But
I love that so much.
I just think it's so cute.
That is so fun. Guys, we're going to post all of the pictures and stuff that we've been talking about in the books on our social media. So Instagram, Twitter, TikTok maybe, and our bookshop.org affiliate account, and our Goodreads, and our Discord. Follow all of those at Sort of the Story. And if you want to see these stories listed, go to our website, www.sortofthestory.com. And join the Discord, because maybe maybe for our next episode or the one after that, we're going to do a live episode just on Discord.
Yeah, so come hang out with us.
Yeah.
If you don't know how Discord works, don't worry, because we don't either. We all just hang out.
Worry. Yeah, just go on there. We had a couple people change their names on Discord, which was super cute.
Some of our wonderful, beautiful listeners on Discord changed their usernames to be their favorite lines from the podcast.
One of them is crawling downhill towards the kids, which is pretty good. And late night tea with 3 dead best friends. These are very long. I think the best thing about them is that these are extremely long names. This one is also gross, right? Am I right? Gross.
I was really I'm in a couple of different Discords, which I realized just in time because I almost changed my display name to, I don't know if you remember the episode.
You can do it just for the podcast, for our group.
But I almost changed it everywhere. But I don't know if you remember a couple episodes ago, the story where I kept chanting piss at you.
Piss! Piss!
So I was going to change my display name to piss, piss, piss. Which would have been really confusing for the Savannah chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America.
Piss! Piss! They would have been like,
hey, how's it going? Piss, piss, piss.
Hey, at piss, piss, piss. I have a question about the union. Wonderful. We love you guys. And we hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
If you're here in the U.S., you're about to celebrate American Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Also, I would like to give thanks to our wonderful, beautiful audio engineer, Keith.
Keith!
The Keitherton.
Keith.
We don't call him that.
We would never. He would not like
Unless
it.
you'd be into that. Hey, Keith. Shoot us a message if you would like us to start calling you Keitherton.
No. Keith has a voice so low it rumbles in our bones.
Keither Slumberland. What?
That's not a thing.
Nope.
Lethal weapon. And we're at Keithal weapon.
Eagle weapon.
Eagle weapon.
Eagle Keithing.
Okay, we'll get there. Anyway, have a great day. Bye. Bye. Okay, ready? This is the review of a book my sister found. Bitch, yo, this book is wild. I full ass want this dragon to eat my beehole. I'm simping hard. Like, I don't care how many of you klitches licked it. I'm nicknaming him Colgate Total. Because I totally gag on my toothbrush every morning, but rather be gagging on this. Look, Beast is truly my favorite Disney hero. I'd be down to fuck, and this retelling is lit. And then here's the synopsis, because we need one. So, Demon King curse hits. To be honest, I'm waiting to see if the guy is fuckable. And the world is thrown into chaos. Everybody dying of some weird plague. But this chick figures out there's this magical elixir made out of some bougie plant hidden in the Forbidden Wood where Daddy Dragon Dude kills whoever touches the stuff. AKA La Beast. The elixir can save the people, so she's tiptoeing like a ghost meme, saying, "Hey, there's Beast, it's your boy Finley." He's hot. HAWT. Anyways, she's basically only one with balls with a Z, enough to sneak in and get the plants and get out before getting eaten. Course, in retrospect, if she'd known how good he is at it, like, just let it happen, you know? He ends up snatching her up and taking her to the castle. Y'all, this will ruin your childhood, because Cogsworth is, let's just say, he's amazing. Like, I want a BFF just like him. Why would that ruin your childhood? But his castle is overrun with some things that'll make you go, what the actual fuck is happening? I was shooketh, not gonna lie. After an adventure, she pulls some Arya Stark badassery along the way. Curses, demons, floggings, butt stuff. Can't never go wrong with butt stuff. I'm just saying, I'd let him stuff my butt. Shrug emoji. And then the book is A Ruin of Roses. My sister texted me with this screenshot and she said, I mean, I'm obviously going to read it, but this person needs Jesus.
I just want to take that book review back in time and just read it to William Shakespeare.
Oh my God. And then you just change the whole course of Romeo and Juliet where he's like, this is lit. We're going to do some butt stuff.
It's going to be so litty, you'll splitty your kitty.
Oh my gosh.